All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to
Hello.
Whatcha Toku About. Okay, so everybody can introduce themselves. Everybody knows Chris, though, so maybe we won't introduce him again. He's kind of the mainstay. He's the staple of the show.
Yes, I'm the mascot. I'm the face of the group. You can't have me without the group.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so just kind of loading up the YouTube page here. Mr.E, say hi to everybody. I
Hello,
know you're
everybody.
drunk.
I am Mr. E29, and I'm drunk off my ass right now.
I mean, we're talking about Tommy. You really need to be drunk for this. Yeah.
Take a shot every time Tommy is involved. No, don't.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have the vodka for it, so
Please don't. If I don't want you to die or die of alcohol poisoning, because if
the
we do a
alumni
game like
didn't
that,
kill me. Taking a shot every time we mention Tommy isn't going to.
Maybe not. Hey, tell them how you doing. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to chat, where we're going to be talking about Power Rangers 25th anniversary, and we're going to be talking about how everyone loves Tommy so much.
Saban doesn't do anniversaries as good as Toei does because Gokaiger was an amazing anniversary show, and when they translated it into Super Mega Force, it was
It was terrible.
Yes. It was trash.
Super Mega Force ruined Gokaiger. It is the worst adaptation ever.
Like, they should have just had a new team, and like the pirate theme. Hold on, I don't understand why they don't just essentially redo the same plot, but with different actors.
Yeah,
because the plot to Gokaiger was awesome and it was fun, and it would have worked well with an American audience. Like, there was no reason to change the plot; just essentially recreate it, and you would have been fine.
Yep, that's right. Tommy became the fan favorite character. That's the reason why they bring him back for almost every anniversary season,
and
with the exception of like one.
And it fuels his ego.
Yep, because
whose ego? Jason David
Franks.
Yeah, the man kind of has an ego.
He has a huge ego when it comes to Power Rangers. Like when like the film, the reboot film was being talked about, he was saying, "Oh yeah, I don't know anything about it, but I know I'm going to be in it. Saban won't, the Saban will definitely have me in it, and they won't do anything without me." And it's just like, no one cares. You are not Power Rangers itself.
Yeah,
and he was in there for a cameo. You're hardly in the film.
Yeah, you're there for one scene. That's it.
Yeah. Then there was the infamous cinema incident where he wanted to film that cameo, and the workers there thought he was trying to pirate the film. So instead of explaining what he was actually doing, he just repeatedly said, "I'm in the movie. I'm in the movie. I'm in the movie." It's just like, what, for 10 seconds?
But I gotta say, the girl who played the Pig Ranger, she is still hot.
Cat?
The girl who, the woman who played Kimberly.
Oh, Kimberly, yeah. Amy Jo Johnson, yes.
Yeah,
she is still hot.
Agreed.
I think she was like everyone's crush.
Yeah.
Yes, my first crush ever in life.
Yes.
The crush of many. There were a lot of young boys who probably had their very first thought of girlfriends because of her, and probably other things.
I was one of them, definitely. But how old is she now? Because I don't care how old she is, she still looks good.
Well, they were all teenagers.
That was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So add 20 years. So she's at least 30. In her mid to late 30s.
Hold on a second. Let me see if I can look this up here. It might take me a bit.
She's 48.
She's 48. Okay. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
It would make sense.
I don't fucking care.
Because I'm over 30, and I watched the show when I was maybe around 10. So they were already like, I think about 16, 17, most of them, somewhere around those ages, I think.
I do not care. I'm 26. I would absolutely date her right now.
So you want a cougar? I can't blame you for that, though. Billy is the ultimate geekdom. Yes, he is.
See, like,
and I like Billy.
That was like my problem with like Megaforce. They tried to emulate Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but the thing is with Noah, it made no sense that he was suddenly like this badass like swordsman and sharpshooter when he's supposed to be the Billy of the group, the geek. See, at least with Billy, they actually put it into a story that he wanted to get stronger and fight better by training in martial arts. Well, mainly because the actual actor was a gymnast, and so they actually developed it with
that
Noah.
That episode was very important to GoKaiger, so of course, they couldn't just ignore it in Super Megaforce, so they had to adapt it in some way. But they didn't set it up in any way.
Yeah, no, it was random. Like for GoKaiger, that whole swordsman episode with Joe. Him training is because his honor was pretty much stepped on.
Yeah,
like, oh hey, you're a terrible swordsman. You can't defeat me. Your swordsmanship is terrible. It's just like, are you serious? And then he just dedicates himself to becoming stronger.
Yeah, he was trying to polish his skills so that he could defeat an opponent that he had lost to, and that's something that audiences can understand. But if you just do it out of nowhere, it's not going to have any impact, because essentially that was Joe's place in GoKaigers. He was essentially the Roanoa Zorro of that crew, the swordsman.
Yeah, he was the fighter, I guess would be the appropriate kind of archetype for him. He's more or less the fighter.
He's a fighter, but he specializes in swords.
Yeah. The specialization in swords, particularly, because you have two members of the crew. One is a princess that lacks a lot of experience, and you have Doc, who is
specializes in technical skills and building and technology.
But it's also
he's the coward of the group.
I mean, he's a coward, but he does overcome his fears when the crew needs him.
Which also didn't make sense in Super Megaforce when you go to the stock footage and Jake is just acting like a coward when he's not a coward. He's supposed he's supposed to be almost the comic relief, the class clown, but he's serious in battle. So it made no sense when they adapted GoKaiger and kept the same actors, that he was all of a sudden a cowardly character when they used the stock footage.
Yeah, and I always considered his character.
Sorry,
go ahead, Mr.E. Okay. I was gonna say, and with Jake's character, he was always the confident one, and believing he was able to do whatever he wanted. So it made no sense for him to switch from being overconfident to basically being a coward. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, in GoKaiger, you then had the Yellow Ranger. I forget her name, but.
Luca?
The actress who, Luca Milfi. She was gorgeous. I still have a crush on that actress. And and
you're not alone in this room.
She was the thief. She was essentially the person who specialized in stealing things. I mean, and the whole pirate theme worked really well. I don't understand why they didn't just do that. And first of all, I think carrying over the previous team from Megaforce was a mistake, in my opinion.
Yeah. Could have done something similar to like what... Now, I know like Alien Rangers suck, but you could have done something like that, where you're replacing the team temporarily. or you could still have them involved in some capacity.
They should have just taken. They just should have done it like Gokaiges. So, started off, all the Rangers lose their powers. Then you have this new team that's collected all the powers, using it for all their own reasons. Yada yada yada. And then you can adapt that movie where you can have Megaforce come back temporarily because the villain from their series is back. Since you could have just. That's how Megaforce ended. It's just Vrax has got his memories back, and you could just leave it there, and the Armada is summoned, and then just have it as like a 2-episode special to conclude that, and have it as the tribute to Megaforce.
The Gokaiger Ghost Ranger movie was really good. I did really enjoy it because it brought back a lot of the classic Megazords. Also, they had this scene with the 2 Yellow Rangers, and I gotta say, both of them were very attractive, in my opinion. I'm kind of like Eglinton, where I have a thing for Asian women.
Hey, you're not alone. You're not alone.
Tell him saying David Yost, who was Billy, the Blue Ranger. Yes, that's the Billy we're talking about, or we're talking about.
Yeah, we're not talking about movie Billy.
No, not movie Billy.
Actually, I like movie Billy.
I have no real comment on it. I think probably out of all the characters, he'd probably make the most sense out of all of them. From from the footage and whatnot that I have seen of the movie, he, I guess, makes the most sense.
Well, him and Jason were the only characters that got development or any like screen time. Everyone else was just to the side.
Yeah, they were just there, essentially. Yeah.
It was essentially.
I did like that.
It was Jason and Billy featuring the Power Rangers.
To be fair, like the evolution of them getting to know each other did feel very natural, because like he's this guy who he knows all this tech stuff, but he's like kind of awkward, and he ends up in detention with this other guy who normally wouldn't talk to him, but he's a good guy, so he stops this bully from bullying Billy, and they kind of get to talk and get to know each other, and Billy uses his technical knowledge to help Jason out. It felt very natural, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know we kind of went a little bit off topic, and we were going to focus more on talking about 25th anniversary stuff.
Oh, yes.
But, we can always talk about it. Yeah, we were going to talk about Dimensions
Shattered Grid is what I've called it.
Yep. Go watch Chris's video on his channel if you haven't had a chance to go watch it.
I've talked about the Dimensions in Danger. My thoughts on it. It's why they decided to make it just a normal episode boggles my mind. I don't know why. It's their 25th anniversary. You at least want it to be slightly longer.
Yeah.
Probably around an hour, under an hour.
Yeah. Accounting for commercials, I would be fine with a 45-minute special.
Yeah.
And that's what it should have been. Or at the bare minimum, make it a 2-parter.
But no, it was a 23-minute it was a 23-minute episode. Yes, Eric Breen, I do have a YouTube channel. You should know you comment on like almost all of my videos. I know you're joking, Eric. But yeah, it as a Ninja Steel episode, it's generic. As an anniversary, it was pointless. Because they don't really celebrate anything.
Yeah.
It's just like, look, we have Tommy and the others.
Yeah, you brought in some fan favorites and did absolutely nothing with them. Didn't
like
what?
Does
they
nothing.
Use stock footage, so unless
this episode actually
it would have been a lot better if the anniversary for Power Rangers lined up a bit more with the anniversary for Super Sentai. But
yeah. I don't think that's the case with this one, is it?
No,
because the anniversary season for or well, the crossover that they did with Ninja was with the other two ninja teams.
Yeah,
So
that was a good episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, they could have just done something like that.
yeah, an homage to the older ninja teams. Of course, granted, one was claimed an alien
and if you still
team,
want
but
and if you still want Tommy in there, technically he had ninja powers. He
yeah,
was the white
sure.
ninja.
Yep, just have him
Yeah,
wear his
from
old
the
white
movie?
ninja uniform. Not just the movie; he was also that in season 3. They had the ninja powers in season 3.
I thought the ninja powers were movie exclusive, but never mind.
No,
Mm, no.
they used that as the main plot for that film. But then when they
Yeah.
actually got into the series, they just ignored the film and just did something different.
All right,
Mhm.
but yeah, if they did the uh, Ninja Team episode in Ninja Steel, I think that would have been a better anniversary thing because it wouldn't have been that complicated. It would have made sense plot wise. You have a new Ninja Team, and you had previous Ninja Teams, so the older
Yeah.
guard shows up to
Yeah, you could still bring in Rocky and Tommy because Rocky had his ninja powers too. So,
yeah.
Yeah, and Cat.
you could bring Cat back. Yeah, that would work too. But no, you tried to bring in a bunch of different random rangers that really don't add very much to the motif of the season.
No,
Of course,
they
granted,
and they
nothing
they
really
don't do
does.
anything. Like Trent from Dino Thunder does nothing. Like
He has
there's
one line.
there's a scene in the episode when they're all fighting alongside each other. There is no one scene where you see Trent fighting alongside any of them.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
no footage of Trent or the White Dino Thunder Ranger. Come on, I like Trent. God damn it, I liked West too, and you freaking
Isn't
screwed
he-
that up too. West just kind of shows
Wasn't
up.
the White Ranger in Dino Thunder? Wasn't he in the Japanese version just evil?
yeah, in the Japanese version he was evil.
I mean, I know
Or
in
just at
the
least he didn't
Power
work
Rangers,
with them.
he was evil for a little bit, but then he became good again.
Yeah, he was evil for a little
was-
bit, became good, but because they were still using stock footage, that they then made a clone. Because in the series, he's evil throughout the whole series until like probably the last few episodes. So they still needed scenes where the White Ranger attacks them. So she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is a clone."
Yeah, it's a clone of Trent, not the real Trent, because the real Trent is good now. But yeah, I was upset because you added so many different characters. They also screwed up the opportunity to have the two actual biological brothers work together in the episode 2 with.
Yeah, they're the two brothers. Their characters don't interact at all, and that's
Yeah.
what a lot of fans wanted.
Who are biological brothers?
The Blue Dino Charge Ranger, Coda, and the Blue Ninja Steel Ranger.
Yeah, the actors are brothers in real life.
Yeah.
Like blood brothers?
Yeah, blood brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
Actual biological brothers.
Cool.
And they didn't even get to interact or team up in the entire episode at all. It's like,
that's
why?
disappointing.
It's like, when it was announced that the younger brother was going to be in Ninja Steel and whatnot, they had a huge hug out section and everything. And it was like, everyone's like, oh, that's so cute. So sweet. But no, we don't even get to have them in the team up episode work together at all. Coda just kind of just does his own thing, and what does the Blue Ranger do? Ninja Steel Ranger do? Fly his Dragon Zord away from the fortress?
I love that there's
just of what he does.
There's like one scene with that the Blue Ninja Steel Ranger where he's just when they're all on a bridge, he just looks over and is like, "Hey, look, there's someone on the roof." Then gets his binoculars out, and it's just like the distance between like the building and the bridge is so freaking far. How could you tell that anyone was on the roof? And you didn't have your binoculars up beforehand. You use them after you say, "Look, I think there's someone on the roof." It's like Do you have hawk vision? Is this?
Are you seeing through the dragon's eye or something? I mean, you have a dragon sword and magic. You could make that as an excuse. It's like, oh, I made my eyes better. I can see further now.
No Zord with the dragon theme will ever be as good as the original.
Well, no, but
Of course not.
That's not the point.
But speaking of the dragon sword, let's talk about Tommy, the main focus of this episode. My God, it is a huge Tommy wank fest in this episode. Yes. So starting off, it's revealed Tommy has a son called JJ.
Mm-hmm.
Who the mother is, no one knows. I mean, Kat's in this episode, and he was the last person to have a relationship with it. Well, it's not that hard to say that Kat is the mother. And there is apparently a comical novel coming out soon called Soul of the Dragon, which is pretty much like Old Man Tommy, and it will feature his son.
Who is Kat again? Which ranger was she?
Pink Turbo.
Oh,
she
was she the blonde one?
Yeah,
yeah.
She was Kimberly's replacement in Mighty Morphin. She was the Pink Zeo, and she was the first Pink Turbo.
Oh, he was hot. I remember her.
But they don't do anything with it's just all about Tommy, and everything they say about Tommy is like how important Tommy is. It's like, oh, we have to find Tommy. He'll know what to do. Oh,
everyone
the robot is disguised as Tommy. That's because everybody trusts Tommy. That's literally what they said. That the reason why the robot looks like Tommy is because every Power Ranger trusts Tommy. I doubt it.
I strongly doubt it too.
One of the prisoners escapes. Guess who it is? Tommy. Somebody saves.
Worst security ever.
Yeah. Somebody saves the Rangers. Tommy. Who helps save the day in the end? Tommy. And then Tommy, they introduced the Master Morpher, which is a morpher that allows Tommy to use all of his previous Ranger forms, which is a good idea. However, it comes out of nowhere. It's just introduced out of nowhere.
What morpher is this based off of?
It's based off the Mighty Morphin morpher, the Dino.
The Dino Buckler, yeah.
Yeah. But it's a gold one, and it doesn't have a power coin in the middle. It only gets a power coin whenever he accesses a certain power. So when he first uses it, it comes up with a red Zeo power coin. Then he
the first power he used was Dino Thunder.
Oh yes, Dino Thunder. Yes, he used the Dino.
Because it makes him invisible.
Yeah, he uses the Dino Thunder one. Then when he properly shows he has the Master Morpher, he uses Zeo, then White Ranger, then Green Ranger. It's okay, this is a good idea. A shame it's just introduced out of nowhere.
Not explaining anything. I think that with the whole thing where they were talking about every Ranger can trust Tommy and stuff like that, they should have probably spent those lines talking about Tommy as some sort of master Power Ranger or something like that.
Like he's a legend.
Exactly. It's because when they did Dino Thunder, that's what that team called him. They called him a legendary Ranger. Of course, they say that about every Power Ranger, but the entire point with Tommy is he's not just a legendary Ranger, he's basically the Power Ranger. At least that's how they normally describe him. The thing I'm sick of Tommy in general. It's you've taken probably my favorite Power Ranger from my childhood, and you have milked him to the point where I don't even care that he's here anymore. It's
how much would you pay for them to do a season about Shattered Grid?
Oh, I'd actually would like to see that.
Only if I get to see Tommy's character get the shit kicked out of him, which I'm entirely for.
I mean, Jason David Frank, if he could play Lord Draken, that would be awesome.
Yeah, well, trust me, if he could, he would. And we know that they'd hire him.
Oh, of course, yeah. He'd be the first one to go on before they even they would even announce a Shattered Grid TV series. Jason David Frank would be there already. He'd just be waiting outside their offices.
Bring Jason back. Let Jason kick his ass.
Yeah,
I would pay money for that.
To be fair, Shattered Grid is a good event, and it's much more unique than just doing another Super Sentai translation. So Saban, if you want to make some serious coin here, like do a live action version of Shattered Grid.
I think who you want to direct that to is Hasbro, not Saban.
Hasbro, they bought Power Rangers, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Although the thing is the big actors, because they don't particularly look young anymore. So, but unless they're going to recast them and just have have Jason David Frank as Drakon, or just say that them
Drakon would make sense as an older version of Kamen who had conquered his own dimension and is now branching out.
Yeah, that would make sense, but also everyone else there is still their teenage years.
I mean, you could rework the script and make it work.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Basically, what you could do is you could have Lord Draken attack the current iterations of Rangers, the ones that are younger, and then the old ones come in to fight him.
Yeah.
And whatnot, like his former teammates and whatnot, or people that would know Tommy.
Yeah.
Just so long as it isn't Tommy that kills Tommy or beats Tommy, I will be okay.
Yeah, you could have it so that it's different dimensions, but time works the same. They were aging along the same timeline.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it can be worked around. It shouldn't be too difficult.
All right, now I want this to be a thing. God damn it, Hasbro, get on this shit.
Please do. After you finish Beast Morphers.
Hold on. After you get your heads out of Michael Bay's ass, then do this.
Okay. But what was I gonna say? Did I have anything I wanted to add? Like I mentioned before, it's pretty much I'm sick of seeing Tommy everywhere. Even the fact that they were talking about that new comic book that's basically going to star an older Tommy, I'm like, I don't even really care. I'm like, I'd probably read it, but at the same time, I'm like, more Tommy. Can we focus on somebody else? There are a lot of other popular Rangers out there. Come on.
Are they adapting Go Busters next?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Beast
the next
thing. Is Go Buster.
The best part of Go Busters, I mean, you can probably already guess. My favorite part was Escape, the female avatar. So I hope they do that right.
We'll have to cross our fingers.
Yeah, I'm hoping they adapt Enter and Escape. Because Enter was Enter was actually an interesting villain. Just starts off as the
my favorite is Go Busters like, this is all right, and then Escape Busters like, you have my full attention.
Tommy, go communist ranger. I have no idea what Tellum's talking about. I guess I don't get the joke, but I do find it funny.
I'm surprised Englandton doesn't watch more tokusatsu.
It is a bit of a surprise.
To be fair, it was the Power Rangers was too late for his generation, but still, I'm surprised he didn't take that interest in Super Sentai, considering the number of beautiful young Asian women who frequent that series.
Look at one of Tommy's Morpher. Oh, okay, now I get it. I think I understand what he's getting at. The fact that the Master Morpher has a red star in it. I almost looks like.
I mean, are his weapons a hammer and sickle?
Yes.
No, it's a very weird looking sword. Or a rapier type sword.
In communist Angel Grove, you become Ranger.
But what could I was disappointed because it's like you brought in Wes, and the one thing I did like is them explaining like, oh yes, there are more than one dimensions out there.
Yeah,
and then at the end,
they reminded
the...
everyone that RPM is in a different dimension, and also they fixed the continuity issue with Dino Charge, but just saying, yeah, Dino Charge is also in a different dimension.
So they essentially already set up Shattered Grid.
Yeah.
Yep.
God damn it, Hasbro! you already did the setup. Now knock it out of the park.
Would be nice. It's basic, like Chris said. It's basically Dimensions and Dangers is Shattered Grid light.
Yeah, it's a discount Shattered Grid. I mean, if you look at the plot, okay, somebody wants to invade every dimension with an army of Ranger clones. Shattered Grid. Lord Drakon wants to invade the multiverse and destroy it all to make it one, with an army of Ranger sentries. Change a few things, and it's almost the same plot.
Heck, even the bad guy's name is closely related to Lord Drakon.
Lord Draven.
Yeah,
it's like hey, Shattered Grid's got.
I mean, like if they don't do Shattered Grid, which considering the amount of footage and materials they have is entirely doable, I would be severely disappointed.
Yeah. If they were to do it as like maybe a special series of episodes.
How do you do Shattered Grid as a special?
No, as a like instead of it being on TV, put it on something like Netflix or Hulu or something of that nature.
That could be good. They could include the Power Rangers Hyperforce team that they invented for that board game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, Hyperforce is in Shattered Grid.
Yeah,
they are the whole team's there, so definitely it could be a huge collaboration between them all.
Yeah.
Yes, Hasbro, make this happen.
Yeah, and I think the reason why I said making it more of a special event thing is because they can't do as much as they can when they're on Nickelodeon. Because Nickelodeon obviously has very strict rules about how serious and dark they can make their series and whatnot.
That's Shattered Grid is pretty dark.
Yeah, and so the whole let's split a season into two.
Yeah, they do that with a Shattered Grid series
for no reason at all. It's just
If we did it as Netflix exclusive, that would that would just focus entirely on the plot, and they could say, oh, these episodes of the regular series happened in between the Shattered Grid on Netflix.
Something to that nature.
Yeah, and then you could also add, you can give more of the other Ranger teams focus as well, because that was one of my criticisms with Shattered Grid. Even though I liked Shattered Grid, it was essentially just a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers event that just happened to have all the other teams. So if they were to adapt,
I thought there was there was a team that was made up of many different Rangers, including I believe someone called the Ranger Slayer, which is essentially just like
that's
dark version of the what I'm saying, like if they wanted to after Shattered Grid, if they wanted to continue the Netflix thing,
then do something like that.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted, you can rotate it just in case if like certain actors can't come back or choose not to return.
Yeah. Or you could make like a legacy thing where it's like it's like this Ranger, but the powers were passed on to somebody else.
Yeah. You could do stuff like that.
Damn it, Hasbro, we're giving you like everything to this goddamn.
We are literally handing you money for free. I strongly believe we are giving you the best idea possible. Get on this right now. Make it happen. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I wanted to add about the anniversary.
If you wanted to, you could also add just in like the movie Ranger as well. The movie Ranger.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just like, why weren't they in Shattered Grid? It's just like,
Which movie Ranger?
The most recent movie ones.
Yeah. The movie you were talking about earlier in the stream, Mystery. Did you forget?
Yes, goddammit, I'm drunk.
How about the Krispy Kreme Rangers?
I mean, wasn't that just the movie?
Yeah, well, Talon posted that a while back. So yes. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Talking about them. Sure, we'll call them the Krispy Kreme Rangers.
I mean, they did mention Krispy Kreme like 80 times in that one movie.
Product placement.
Yes.
The most annoying kind of, one of the other many reasons why I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this movie. Too much product placement. I already get enough product placement with the fact that they're like, oh, look, a new power. Here, buy this toy.
That one opening scene was very weird, where Jason is with his friend, and he admits to like essentially jerking off the bowl that they were bringing into the locker room.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's like we need to set up how to get Jason into detention so he can meet Billy and Kimberly. It's like they all go to the same school. I don't think it'd be that hard for them to meet.
The girl who played Kimberly was definitely attractive.
Yeah. That's kind of...
Well, if Hasbro were to do a Shattered Grid series, it would also be good for them to make products out of it. You know, you can make figurines of the different Ranger Sentries, also of the mismatch of Zords, since there was there was several of them there.
Oh yeah.
There was the Grave Zord by the Ranger Slayer, then there was the one in the penultimate issue.
Yeah.
Heck, you can even make the Hyperforce has Zords, but there is no toys for them yet. There's no figures for them yet either. So Hasbro, you can make money off of this as well.
We're giving you everything, Ted.
Yes, Hasbro.
We're giving you the best ideas possible. Why will you not take our ideas? Please, we're asking for good quality stuff here.
Does Hasbro have a Twitter account? Because if so, you should tweet this live stream at them.
Yes, give them our ideas. But then they'll probably steal our ideas and not credit us. Yes, we finally got it, but we don't get the credit.
I don't care.
Me neither, really.
Yeah.
It's not really that important, although, yes, it would be nice because then maybe it give boost to everybody's channels and whatnot. But at the same time, I'm giving them an opportunity of just fixing the problem because I don't like Ninja Steel. I only watched this anniversary episode to see either how good or terrible it could potentially be. And that's it.
I guess we all found out.
Pretty unimpressive. Mainly because it's just Tommy centered.
It's just Power Rangers Tommy.
Yep. Because it's like, oh, you brought Westbeck? That's fantastic. He's one of my favorite Red Rangers. Oh, he has pretty much nothing to do through most of this episode except for getting the team together? Fantastic. Glad you brought him along.
I was wondering how they were going to do the Sixth Ranger in Super Mega Force because there was one scene in Gokaiger where the guy is almost dead and he has a vision of like it was the Green Ranger,
it was of Dragon Ranger, Time Fire, and Abari Killer.
Yeah.
Three dead 6th Rangers. Or 5th technically for the White Ranger.
Yeah, technically they're the ones that give him his power and his Zord. So I was wondering how they were going to do that because none of those Rangers have anything to do with one another in the Power Rangers universe.
Yeah, no.
There's not a single thing connecting the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on Super Mega Force, they do a twist. So, like, how with Gokaiger, the main 5 are all technically aliens, and then Guy is a human. In this one, the 6th Ranger is an alien.
Yeah, flip
and
the script.
It's just on his home planet. He finds a box containing the Ranger 6th Ranger key, and then has visions of all the 6 Rangers.
That will probably never be. Well, at least that's a better explanation, considering he found the key. Better than what we got with Troy.
I didn't watch Super Mega Force. Did they do Bosco, the guy that could actually he put the keys in this like trumpet thing and then he summoned them?
He's not in there. He's not adapted in any capacity. Which is a shame because the actor can actually speak English, and he wanted to come back for Super Mega Force to play the same character, but he never got the call. And Bosco was never adapted, which is a good thing because Super Mega Force was terrible, and I feel like they would have just ruined Bosco.
Yeah, or it would just say, "Hey, everybody, go and watch the Sentai."
Yes.
Pretty much. It's like, you might as well. You got nothing else better to do. Go ahead, Mr.E.
The Sentai is so much better. So was Shinkenger versus Power Rangers Samurai.
Yeah. You could probably just take most of them from the current generation, and they're going to be better than the Power Rangers.
Also, I was wondering how they would explain the Super Sentai that never came to America, like Ghost Sager. Was not Ghost Sager, but
Die
Ranger. Yeah, how the hell would they explain that?
They didn't.
In the laziest way possible, by saying that they're new powers that have never been seen on Earth. That is their explanation as to why Sentai exclusive Rangers appeared in this.
If they're powers that were never seen on Earth, then why are they on Earth now?
I know exactly. It's like
never bothered to explain. Not once.
Considering
just there.
Someone actually edited a scene containing them. So he removed all the Sentai exclusive ones, and the scene still makes sense if you remove them.
Yeah.
And especially when they go to fight in in Gokaiger, when they go fight Isan, the one of the generals, they all transform into Sentai exclusive Rangers. In Gokaiger, they keep it the same, except they change the Red Ranger to the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. And it's like, how lazy are you? You only changed one of them. Why didn't you change all of them?
I mean, it would have made a lot more sense if they said, "Oh, these are," instead of never seen on Earth before, they could have literally changed the text to "These are Rangers from the distant past," and like even that would have made more sense. Okay, these are Rangers from before, like Mighty Morphin that we never saw before, and just that would have made more sense because it was still a team of Rangers that existed instead of something that had never been on the freaking planet before.
Yeah. They could have explained it with, "Oh, these are other alien Rangers or Rangers from another dimension or something to that nature." There were several ways of getting out of this, but they chose not to. They were very, very lazy. And it didn't help.
That was Super Mega Force in general. It was just lazy.
It was, and it wasn't like they didn't claim it as like, "Oh, we have the biggest budget out of any Power Ranger season ever." What? Did all that money go to Tommy? Did it go to JDF? Did he get the bulk of the cash? Is that the reason why this season sucks even more?
I mean, I want to know how do they explain the pirate theme of everything in Gokaiger?
They don't.
So they just paste over everything and just hopes the audience doesn't notice. I mean, the audience would be a bunch
it's pretty
of kids,
much just like you now have
ideally.
new powers as well, which allow you to access all the previous Power Ranger powers, and it's just like.
Okay. And now you also have a new Zord that looks like a pirate ship.
Zords. And for some reason, you're pirates now after a season of Angels and Elements.
Yep. I mean, you could have gotten away with
the biggest mistake, in my opinion, was sticking with the same team. Like, bring in a new team. Like, say, oh, your team has been assembled specifically to inherit the powers of the past teams, and that would have gone down so, but then just keeping the same people, it made no fucking sense.
You could have it that that this new team is like from Andros's home planet as a reference to In Space, who just heard about the Power Rangers, heard about them losing their powers, so they ignored all any possible warnings and all that, and just headed off into space to find them all. And then they reach Earth, and they find it's under attack by the Armada.
Yep.
No, so it's almost similar to Gokaiger, but you're still keeping it within the Power Rangers.
That would have made sense because the Power Rangers in space powers would have come from another planet, because Andros and the Silver Ranger were from another planet.
Yeah.
And so were their morphers. So, yeah, that would have made a lot of sense.
But no thought process was put into.
I mean, I'm sure a thought process was put into it, and the thought being, what can we bilk for the most amount of money in toy sales?
Well, it was also the fact that they had to rush through production for Megaforce and Super Megaforce. So that also contributed to the bad decision making, because they were Samurai was still going on while they were working on Megaforce. So that's bad. It's like they had to rush through production just to get it ready so that they could be ready for the anniversary. Ugh, stupid. I think actually one of the funniest things I found out was, what was it? In one of the episodes of Megaforce, or was it Super? No, I think it was nearing the end of the first season. At the end of Megaforce, when they destroyed that General's Armada ship, they play the wrong Power Ranger theme song when it's done. They were playing Samurai's theme song instead of Megaforce. I'm like, someone was so lazy they didn't even bother to change the song. That's how bad it is.
You guys want to hear a funny story about Shinkenger and my fandom towards it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so I was on this forum, and we were talking about Shinkenger, and one of the people on there said that he found the pink ranger more attractive than the yellow, and I said I found the yellow ranger more attractive in Shinkenger, and the guy said, "Hey, the actress who plays the yellow ranger is 16. You shouldn't be talking about that." And I'm like, at the time, I was like, "Motherfucker, I'm 16." At the time, he's like, "Leave me the fuck alone. I don't give a shit."
It's like, that isn't wrong at all. We're the same age.
Yes. Literally, he was pissed at me for being attracted to somebody my own age.
Yeah, it would be. That's ridiculous. It's funny and ridiculous. It's like, are you kidding me?
I'm 16 too. Like, it's okay, don't think away.
Exactly. You should have said, okay, well, what's your excuse? That probably would have been fun to see.
Yeah.
Because I'm betting there's a good chance he may have been actually older than you.
He definitely was. At the time, he was making posts. He was actually teaching English in Japan at the time, so he was definitely older than me.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, well then, it's like, well, what about you, sir? What's your excuse? I'm 16. I'm of legal age. What about you? That would be funny. But
Yeah. How did you guys discover tokusatsu?
through Power Rangers mainly.
Yeah.
Actually,
I was watching Power Rangers and I watched some of the adaptations of things like Ultraman. I even saw Godzilla before I saw anything Power Rangers
actually,
related.
how I discovered it was there was a video game called Beautiful Joe,
Oh yeah,
and Beautiful Joe, whenever he transformed into his powered form, he would say this phrase called "Henshin a go go, baby." And
yeah.
I looked up the phrase and said the phrase henshin is usually used in the Tokusatsu Kamen Rider series. I said, okay, what's that? And I started watching it, and from there, I started watching Super Sentai, and I realized that's where Power Rangers came from, and I started, you know, checking out other things from there. And actually, it's funny because they actually brought Ultraman over in like the 19, I think it was 60s, late 1960s, early 1970s. And my mom
Yeah.
actually told me, like, yeah, I had a crush on the actor that played Ultraman. And I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the first exposure I had to creature people wearing rubber monster costumes and whatnot was probably Godzilla. And then after that I saw Power Rangers, and then after that it took a while, but eventually I got into watching some of them a lot more stuff from Japan, or at least learning it about
Yeah.
more. I haven't
Actually,
watched very much. I'm still relatively new, so
the first Kamen Rider episode I tried to watch was the very first episode of Decade that I found like on this like online video service, and I had no idea who any of the characters that he was fighting was. I'm like, okay, I need to go back and watch some shit because this is very fucking confusing. So
yeah.
I watched all of Kiva, I watched all of Blade, I watched Kabuto, Fies, Agito. I still haven't watched all of Kuga. I need to watch Kuga. I have
Uh,
Kuga. I haven't watched it, but yeah,
yeah,
Kuga
Kuga's a bit of
Deno.
a yeah, Kuga's a bit of an oddity. It's a slow burn for that one.
I mean, I get that, but Deno was good, but like it stuck around way longer than it should have
I could see that.
with all the movies
Oversaturation.
and
Yeah, too much of a good thing.
yeah.
And he is
But
one of the most popular current Kamen Rider series that came out.
yeah, one of the best, in my opinion, is Double Kamen Rider Double.
Yeah, I like Double. He reminds me of like the older Kamen Riders. At least in his design, it's a lot more simplistic
Yeah,
and doesn't feel nearly as like it. Because in a lot of the other Kamen Rider shows, it's like they're very heavily armored. It doesn't look like it's just like a onesie suit. But Doubles looks more like the older Kamen Rider costumes with the
yeah.
scarf
Also,
and
um, it came out around the time that I was getting into like pulp detectives and film noir, and it had a private detective theme. So like that was like perfect for me. I'm like, this is the best shit ever.
yeah, this is mixing all my favorite loves. Yeah. I think the first Kamen Rider that I actually spent time watching what was I probably watched Wizard because I saw the costume. I'm like, I like this costume quite a bit. I should go
I,
check it out and see what it's like.
I liked Wizard, but it could have been there are parts of it that could have been done so much better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard mixed reaction from people about Wizard.
Yeah, I've heard
So,
mixed reactions about Decade, and Decade will always have a
well,
special place with me
yeah,
because it was the first Kamen Rider show that I ever followed week to week.
yeah, yeah. I could get that.
Like, all right, it started Sunday. The new episode of the Kate is coming out. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens.
Oh wait. I kind of switched between watching episodes of Wizard and Ryuki, mainly because Ryuki was the basis for Kamen Rider Dragon Knight in the States, which I did watch. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna watch the Japanese version.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it.
I think that Ryuki was the wrong show to adapt specifically because it had too many writers.
Yeah, that could have been one of its hurdles.
I think another show like if they had adapted like Blade, I think that would have gone over better because all right, there are four writers and a bunch of monsters, and they're fighting to see which species is going to be dominant. I think that would have been better for American audiences, personally.
Yeah. I would have liked it if they kept on trying to adapt more Kamen Riders.
Yeah.
I mean,
they did two attempts with Black RX and then Dragon Knight.
Yeah, those were the only two attempts. One was from Saban and one was from another studio entirely.
Yes, we don't talk about Saban's Master Rider. There's a good reason.
It needs to go back. It needs to go back to the peace conference where it came from.
Yes.
my first taste of tokusatsu was as a kid when they brought over Metal Fire B Kabuto as Beetleborgs, and I loved the shit out of Beetleborgs. That was my show. I loved it more than Power Rangers.
Ah, good for you.
But they only did two seasons because they ran out of stock footage afterwards.
Yeah. I remember watching Beetleborgs and VR Troopers, so
I never watched VR Troopers. That's supposed to be the space sheriffs, right? Gavin and
I think it was a couple of them, but they adapted different series.
Yeah.
But actually, speaking of the Metal Heroes, apparently Ninja Steel is adapting the episode where they have Jiraiya. Since he's a ninja themed metal hero.
This won't go. Oh, this won't be bad at all.
Didn't they have a episode of Power Rangers where they crossed over with Beetleborgs?
I know they did have an episode with Masked Rider. I don't know about Beetleborgs.
I do know of one thing because they did use Metal Heroes for Forever Red. Some of the Metal Heroes were the villains in that particular.
Yeah, because there was an evil Beetleborg. And I think that was the villain.
The other Beetleborgs, the Beetleborg heroes did not show up for the episode. It was just an evil group of Metal Hero-esque characters trying to revive that giant Zord dragon, and all the other Red Rangers beating the ever-loving shit out of them. Pretty much.
Didn't in space they introduce like these evil evil ranger team that was essentially like just a copy of
Power Rangers in Space introduced the Psycho Rangers.
Yeah, that was an interesting concept. I loved that as a kid.
Yeah, it was better than their first attempt making evil Power Rangers because those costumes sucked.
What was their first attempt?
When they introduced Lord Zed, he tried to make evil copy versions, but they basically look like cheap putties. He picked bullies and really bad humans to be his evil Power Rangers, but their costumes basically look like they muted the colors of the primary colors of the Rangers, and then just gave them weird looking masks. They didn't even have helmets or anything. So it's just really cheaply and horribly done.
I don't remember that, but the Psycho Rangers were definitely good. And then they brought them back, I think, for Lost Galaxy.
Yes,
they
did.
They brought back Psycho Pink.
Yeah, Lost Galaxy was actually one of my favorite seasons.
Yeah, I like that season too. Along with In Space. In Space is probably my favorite, but
yeah, actually,
In Space saved the franchise. So if that wasn't good, that would have just ended.
Yeah,
since Turbo nearly killed it.
I like that they copied some of the plot from Gingamon, and that this guy wasn't actually supposed to be the Red Ranger. It was his brother, but then his brother like either disappeared and then actually came back as the not quite sixth Ranger of that series.
Yes. I liked Magna Defender. I thought he was a cool character.
Yeah, he was good. After they gave him his own,
I just liked his outfit. And
after they gave him his own morpher too. Like he actually did trans. It wasn't just like an armor. He actually did transform.
yeah. Yeah, he was a good character in Lost Galaxy, and I overall really like his design.
Okay,
You
now I want
don't
to
get
rewatch Lost Galaxy.
Yeah, let's rewatch Lost Galaxy. Actually, no, I need to go back to rewatching Zeo, and then I probably have to go to Turbo and all the other horrible seasons that I've missed. The ones I'm
But
not looking forward to watching.
the best thing I think Saban did was create the Titanium Ranger for Whatcha Rescue, aka Go-Go 5.
Yeah, I like that they had the Titanium Ranger. That was a cool idea. Wish they would have done it more often, but not. I don't think they've done it very much after that.
No, they haven't. The last ones they ever made, like Ranger exclusive ones, were the ones from Jungle Fury. Those three.
Oh yeah,
Which
yeah.
ones were those?
The Spirit Rangers.
Oh,
The shark, the bat, and the elephant. Based off of their masters. Yeah.
I mean, if they wanted to do Power Rangers exclusive, then Ranger Slayer from Shattered Grid would be a perfect chance to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's also another one coming up. The Solar Ranger.
Oh yeah, I saw the preview for that. Also, Hyperforce would be Power Rangers exclusive. Damn it, Saban, it's all right there. Just do it.
Do it. We dare you. But what can you do? Saban, Hasbro, we don't know what their intentions or plans are. Who knows what we will get?
As if they actually plan these things.
Well, the fact that they decided, hey, we're going to go backwards and we're going to adapt Go Buster. Interesting choice. Not something anybody was expecting at all. Because everyone was like, no, they're never going to adapt Go Buster.
Well, yeah, like for the most of it, it was that everyone believed Q Ranger was going to be adapted.
Yeah. I don't know if
that was a good series. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. I don't know if they have the money or the funds to do a season like that because
that's true.
They
would have.
How many are there?
Huh?
How many of them are there? Like 11?
9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 of them there.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a bit large. I mean, Dino Charge adapted pretty much everybody, but even they couldn't handle having that many Rangers on set with the limitations that they had.
Especially considering that most of them are either regular or semi-regular.
Yeah, they're just kind of there most of the time. They would like come and go. Well, at least they kind. The one thing I give flack to Dino Charge, but at the very least, they did try to explain why certain Rangers were not in certain situations. Give him credit for that and for Heckle because I liked that actor quite a bit. Actually, I thought he was like the highlight of the entire show, more so than most of the characters because I didn't care for any of them except for what's the knight's name? God damn it, I forgot his name. Yeah, Ivan. I liked Ivan.
Yeah.
I like Sir Ivan because he was just goofy. But he was a fun character. Of course, Coda was kind of a fun character too. So
yeah, well, at least Heckle is now going to be the Dark Ranger in the comics.
Hooray!
Yes. Although they should change his name. Dark Ranger is too generic.
Agreed.
I'm the Talon Ranger. The original name they were going to give him sounds much better.
Yes. Let's call him Talon Ranger. I like that name way better than Dark Ranger. What the frick?
And I'm happy they kept they're using Death Rouge's suit, not Kyoryu Navy's suit. So he has the extra fins and the red outlines on his suit. Because it stands out much better.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go and get some water real quick. You guys can continue to talk.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll be right back.
Let's see.
Okay, so do you prefer Heisei or Showa writers?
Oh, Heisei. I would say Heisei because that's the most I've seen. I haven't seen a lot of the Showa era. I need to see find subs of those.
I saw people I forget what the group name was, but they subbed the original Kamen Rider, and that was actually a really impressive show. I mean, when you compare it to today's standards, it is kind of campy, but it's still very enjoyable, especially when you consider that the actor did all his own stunts in the suit until he hurt himself and they had to replace him with Kamen Rider #2.
Yeah.
That's actually a really interesting story. Like, they hurt himself and they could have just replaced him, but they said, "No, you're a great actor. We really like working with you. Take your time, heal up, but we do want you to come back." And that's how we got the Double Riders.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. It's just it's a good way to just work around an actual real life problem. So, and it worked out for the end. The Double Riders are now iconic.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I can't even imagine having a legacy as impactful as Shotaro Ishinomori's creating, Cyber 009, all these other shows, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai. Like, that guy will be remembered for ever. At the very least in Japan.
He's done so much for the tokusatsu genre. Like without him, it would have just been Godzilla. Godzilla would have just been the highlight of tokusatsu. But no, Ishinomori brought so much to the genre.
What are we talking about now?
The man himself, Ishinomori.
Ah, I see. Okay. Cool.
I'm Japan should really consider him a national treasure.
Yeah.
If they had knighthoods in Japan, they should give him one posthumously.
Yeah. Well, so do we have anything else that we want to talk about?
I think we've complained about Tommy enough. What is there to really complain about Tommy anymore? It's just he's there too much. Please stop.
Yeah.
Have any of you watched Garo?
Yes, I freaking love Garo.
I haven't gotten to watch it. I've seen some of the clips and some of the suits, which are very impressive. I will say they're very detailed. I'm like, holy freaking crap!
I haven't watched Garo in a while. I would have to catch up, but the parts I did watch, I really loved. The suit designs are awesome, and I like that it's a more tokusatsu for a more mature audience.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be darker. That was the point. Even to the point it's on a later time schedule because of it.
Yeah. It's meant for an older audience.
Yeah, it's meant for adults.
Just like Kamen Rider Amazon was meant for older people.
Yes.
Oh, Kamen Rider is meant for kids, but I love how even in Japan there are adults that still watch it and enjoy it.
It's a family thing. That's the thing. It's for anyone. For Kamen Rider. Yeah. Even though they want to market it for children, it is for everyone. Unlike Power Rangers nowadays with Nickelodeon, where it's just like, this is definitely for kids.
Did you see the? I read this article about the actor who played Gaim, and it said like when he told his parents that he had tried out for the part, like his parents were massive Kamen Rider fans, and they just geeked out all over him.
That sounds cool.
That sounds awesome. Yeah.
Smaxo is here.
It is. Well, it is considering the history there. It is huge. I know, like a lot of like people want to be in like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, like the one who currently plays the Yellow Ranger in Lupin Ranger vs. Pat Ranger. Like she said, she wanted to be in either Kamen Rider or Super Sentai because one of her former bandmates played Nadeshiko in Forze. He's like, oh, I want to be in one of those series as well. And now she is. She's a Yellow Ranger.
Yeah.
Yay!
I
liked what I saw of Lupin Ranger versus Power
I also
Ranger
heard
so
that
far.
the actor for O's was a massive Kamen Rider fan himself, Shu Watanabe.
Yeah.
And I read an article that said that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You good? Yeah, he would go out. Him and the actor that played his partner Unk would go out with their hair done up like the way they were in the show, and they would wait for somebody to recognize them, and they could recognize all the time.
Well, the actor for Unk, I think that's just how he normally has his hair anyway. So
I read that it wasn't. I read that he has his hair like dyed brown, but it wasn't like done up the way that
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, just I can just imagine that just the actors just standing out there waiting for someone to recognize them.
Yeah. I mean, for some people they want to be a part of, Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. But it kind of still carries around the same stigma that it does in the States that, you may not have a serious career after that.
Oh, well, for Kamen Rider, it's actually the opposite. Some of them have like really big careers in Japan.
Yeah,
or just
I know.
Japan. The
guy who played Deno did.
Yeah, Takeru Sato is like one of the most sought after actors after Deno.
Yeah.
Like, he's huge. Yeah, he played Rurouni Kenshin.
He was Rurouni Kenshin in the live action movie. And I know the actor who played Kabuto was in a lot of dramas. He was in one drama that I actually saw called Tokyo Dogs. After Kabuto.
He's also now working in the States as well. He was in an episode of Girls.
Episode of what?
Was it Lena Dunham's show? Girls, I think it's called.
God.
Yeah, there for like one episode.
Yeah, Shu Watanabe from O's was in the Attack on Titan live action movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta take care of something again real quick. I'll be back.
Yeah, no problem. Well, what is it? Forze is playing Ichigo in Bleach, the film.
Yeah.
So
being
unlike Power Rangers, where depending on who they are, they can get a huge career out of it.
The Red RPM Ranger was in the Netflix Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Seasons.
With like Sentai and Kamen Rider, a lot of them get a huge career out of it.
Well, that's because for America, Power Rangers is just for kids, but in Japan, Kamen Rider and Sentai it's essentially become part of the culture, essentially.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
And we will not hold it against Shu Watanabe for being in that shot of a movie. Oh yeah, it was unfortunate that Attack on Titan film wasn't that good. Filmed.
Yeah. I loved him as Oz. Like, he was amazing.
Oz is a great series. Like, I hope one day they resolve because I thought they were going to do it with the Build X8 film, like resolve how he fixes Unk's metal, but they don't. And it's just like, you had the perfect opportunity as a way to to tie in back to Forze and O's with that movie, but it's like, you didn't take it.
But yeah, O's was an amazing series. I also love like how they essentially they made a very meta episode for not only I think it was the 40th anniversary, but
Oh yeah,
the 1000th episode.
Yeah, they did the 999 episode, and then like the 1000th episode.
Yeah, it was very meta because they referenced the fact that it's a TV show.
And just the shocker villains as well.
Yeah, like one of the shocker villains. Like, it's a TV show, but like in the show, it was actually also his real life, so it was very weird.
Yeah.
I miss those. I showed my one of my fraternity brothers the opening theme song and some of the form exclusive songs for O's, and he loved the shit out of them. He hasn't even watched the series, but he'll just listen to the music.
Oh, nice.
I'm trying to get him into it, but like he's mostly just into the music.
Well, I think that was like that was probably, oh no, not really. I think that was the biggest season where the actors just sung their songs.
Yeah, like Shu Watanabe sang all the songs for
he sung all of his forms as songs. And then, you had both births sing their song.
Yeah. But that was a really good season. Looking back, I just have to take a moment to appreciate how good that season was, and also the actors who displayed a lot of range in that season.
Yeah.
Also, was Date Akira the first birth, not the man?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, Date in that series was great, especially in that 1000th episode. That two-parter, just him playing the director and just getting very serious in the role.
Yeah.
Smaxo, you know what would be nice? Someone remaking Kaiketsu Zubat. I mean, they remade Kakaido Inazuma. Why not Zubat? Yeah, I think the thing is, because of like how huge Super Sentai and Kamen Rider still are, a lot of the older series don't get a lot of attention, especially when they remake them. They still try. That's the thing. Like with Space Sheriff, they're still doing that. They're still trying to bring that back every once in a while.
What's your favorite season
of
Kamen Rider?
Kamen Rider. Oh, geez, I have a lot. That's the thing. There's too many good ones to choose from. Let's see. Deno, O's, Gaim, X8, and Build are definitely my favorites at the moment.
I've never watched X8. I didn't like the designs or the designs or the premise.
The designs come off as a bit goofy, but it is actually a really good season.
So should I watch it?
Yeah, definitely. It is actually a good series, and one of the characters there, Kuroto Dan, who is my profile picture, is the best character in the series.
What are we talking about now?
X8.
X8. Something that I know nothing about.
I didn't watch it, but I told it was really good. Like the theme of them being like based on video games was something that initially interested me, but like, I couldn't get past the designs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Mr.E. They're too busy. They're over designed to hell, and they far too loud and irritating to look at.
To me, they don't look like writers.
Yeah, no, not really. They're a pretty big departure from Kamen Riders.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I liked Build. Build was just it was just a bit simple. Just like this is just two. It's just two different halves.
Sort of like double with one person.
You mean that's not your real face, Chris? Eric is calling you out. But yeah, I'm very particular when it comes to like suit designs and whatnot. If your design looks bad or it bugs me in some way, I'm probably not going to enjoy the show as much. I was like,
my favorite design is probably Agito, especially when he's doing his finishing move and the horns split open.
No one's that good looking. It's just impossible.
Like, Agito is probably my favorite design.
Yeah, Agito is cool looking. I like his design. I've mentioned it in past videos of this nature where I talked about designs of suits and whatnot. And yeah, I pretty much said no. I don't like Xade's designs at all. I like Build's designs. Not all of them, but most of them look really good. I particularly like, oh, I don't even know the character's name, but I've seen the dragon outfit.
Cross.
Cross.
Yeah. That dragon costume I like quite a bit. His first one. Don't really know if I like any of the other forms at this point. But
His second one was a bit. I didn't really particularly like Cross Charge. Cross Charge's suit was just a bit. It was there was too much silver. It was too much of just the one color, and just
Cross Magma is my favorite.
Cross Magma was amazing. I did like Great Cross, despite the fact it was just a recolor. I'll be right back.
Okay. Personal favorite design, Kamen Rider Zolda. Reminds me of Cybercop for some reason. I don't know what Cybercop is. I don't know if Smaxo was talking about RoboCop because he just says Cybercop, so I have no idea.
But I like the design of Decade. It's a great design. It's not too busy, and the transformation is really good.
Yeah, it's not as bad as like with what we were saying about X8. It's not as bad. I still don't like it because it just looks weird to me, and I'm not a huge fan of pink as a primary color.
Hey, I am a Decade fanboy. God damn it!
I know. I can respect
that.
It was a 90s toku show I seen when I was a kid. Oh, okay. All right, so that's what Cybercop is. It's another toku show. One that
when I first got into Decade, I didn't know what the other writing shows were. So that show was like a great way to introduce me to those shows. Like, hey, we're going to the Blade world next. Like, okay, what's Blade? And I started watching Blade.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it's like all the Kamen Rider designs that I ended up loving the most was, or at least my favorite design is Kamen Rider Knight from Ryuki. So
I like the design for Kiva.
Kiva is cool too.
Yeah,
I do like his design.
It's more of a bat design, and
yeah, I think I liked. Oh, I don't know the character's name, but the one that the white Kamen Rider from that series.
Ixa. Oh well, there's two of them. Yeah, there's Ixa and Saga.
Yeah.
Well, one looks like a royal king Kiva, and the other one looks like has a Christian cross on his face. Can you remember which one it was?
Oh man. Crap.
One had red eyes, one had blue.
It's hard to say because I remember I would watch like clips of transformations. So that's where I get some of my information on what the suits look like.
More mechanical. What is definitely was 100% technology based. The other is more magic based.
Yeah. Well, one uses a kind of like an over glorified brass knuckle to transform.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That one's Ixa.
I think it was the brass knuckle one that I saw.
Yeah, that's Ixa.
Yeah. I just like that suit's design personally. I liked it yeah. Hence why Jetman will always have a special place in my heart as the best Sentai series. And Kaku Range.
It was interesting that they tied it together. Like, okay, we have the Ixa system, but it's not completed until like the time of Kiva.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It just looks the same apart from the faceplate never opens and it has a huge exhaust floor.
Yeah. But there are a lot of designs out there that for Kamen Rider shows that I do enjoy, and then there's some that I don't enjoy or that I think look weird. I think the only ones. Go ahead.
What did you guys think of Excel?
The what?
Excel from Double.
The red one from Double.
Oh, Excel's design. Aside from the weirdest part is the fact that he can turn into a bike, which is odd. For a power choice. Aside from that, I don't think his design is that terrible. I think he looks good, but just not a fan of the fact that he can turn into a motorcycle.
My favorite one is it's the one where he has his own movie that takes place after Double, and he gets that upgrade device that turns him into this yellow form that can essentially fly.
Oh yeah, his booster form, Excel Booster, I think it was called.
Excel Booster.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen that.
I like that movie. I like that form as well.
It's a good movie.
Actually slightly different. It just looked like the basic. It just looked like the basic form, just with a jetpack and like an extra faceplate added to it.
Yeah. Also, the heroine in that movie, stunningly attractive.
I think she's in Kamen Rider like later on. I think in a different season. I'll have a look because the actress looked familiar.
Yeah. Hello, that's the thing about tokusatsu. They always tend to have like really attractive women in their series.
Yeah. I was just checking chat. So Brainstormer is saying hello to everybody. Hi. Hello. Excel. Oh, you mean the living motorcycle? Yes, that's exactly who I'm referring to. The fact he can turn into a motorcycle. And the fact that Double can also ride him for some reason. Make of that of what you will, I guess.
I mean, also, he could hook up to Double's motorcycle attachments. And like he could fly or go on water and things.
It's just weird. It's a weird choice.
Okay, now I know where I've seen her from. She plays Sawa in Build, the reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah, same actress.
That's the same actress?
Yeah, from Excel. Yeah.
I knew she was weirdly hot. But
his sexy
ironically, her character in Excel, her last name is Katsuragi. And there's a Katsuragi in Build. A very important character, Takumi Katsuragi.
It's interesting. Was that a coincidence? Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably can't. They probably came up with the idea because of past characters. It's like, hey, we'll give the fans a little bit of a nod to past series. Why not? Yeah, I don't know. When we were talking about designs, but I think that with Decades design, I kind of already mentioned that. But what was the other writer in that show?
The
End.
I hate his even more. I just don't like the fact that he looks like he's got like massively huge goggles that are covered in cards on his face. It looks even worse than Decade. I'm like, I don't know how you can make it look worse, but you managed to make it look worse.
Did you see the end movie?
No.
It was partly a Deno spinoff, but
Yeah,
they
it was
gave
the
DN
last one
his
in
own.
the a Deno film trilogy.
Yeah. The radiator grill face. Yeah, that. Here, let's have a barbecue on top of DN's face. Can we do that? That'd be fun. Just like light it up and go, here, everybody get ready for it to have burgers. Can only like have 2 at a time, but we're gonna have some hamburgers. But yeah, that design is just too bizarre and weird for me. Of course, I'm also not a fan of Forze's design either, or most of the designs in that show. I think I like Meteor's design a bit.
Meteor was the best part of that show. God damn it!
Yeah, I mean, I liked his design a bit better. It looks nicer.
Yeah, I liked his Bruce Lee fighting style and the noise and the like karate noises he made.
The constant Whatcha.
But yeah, I don't like Forze's killing head. I get that he's supposed to look like an astronaut, but I don't know why his head has to look like a rocket ship. That part confuses me.
Because
like,
space.
Shut up about space. Don't care about space. No. I think that if they would have done a different design for the helmet, I probably would have liked it a bit better. I could get over, the big pads and whatnot that make him look awkward, but at least it would make sense. Like, hey, he's wearing a spacesuit. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But
it is ignoring this suit, it is a good series, Forze. I enjoyed Forze.
The main character, I think, was annoying. The guy.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the point of his character. He's just very annoying, and then for some reason, everyone still likes him.
Because he wants to be friends with everyone?
Yes. Friendship is magic.
I hate those people.
Is it just me, or is Forze sort of a remake of Super 1? No idea.
Well,
it could be.
Super 1 was supposed to be based off of outer space and things like that.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
It could have just been them like retreading ground. They do that all the time with Sentai. It's like, oh, hey, dinosaurs? Well, we've already done it a couple of times. Let's do it again because it's super popular and kids love dinosaurs.
Yes, don't come up with something different.
Huh?
It's like, yeah, don't come up with something different.
Well, sometimes they come up with different ideas, and then sometimes they're like, oh, let's rehash something we've already done. We've done
sometimes
ninjas.
Sometimes they come up with different ideas, but they just don't look good. I'm looking at you, Tokuja.
Oh, the poor
the blandest looking suits ever, apart from the Sixth Ranger. The Sixth Ranger suit I actually like because it's actually something different. Everyone else's suits were just bland.
Yeah, I could see that.
The recolors.
Yeah.
To be fair, I actually like that. Yeah.
Right. Because dinosaurs are easy to make toys for. Of course they are. Exactly. It makes sense.
the amount of Zords from Kyoryuja, like make a lot of toys out of those.
Yep. More toys, more money.
They had a good opening theme song, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the best opening theme out of the Sentai?
Oh.
I have trouble remembering them. I know there's a couple that I like, and I'm trying to remember them now. If you ask me for Kamen Rider ones, it's a lot easier because I watch those on repeat.
Sentai, there's quite a lot of good ones. The first one that pops into my head is Die Ranger. I really remember that one. I really like
Die Ranger is one of my all-time favorites.
Yes, yeah, I'd say probably Die Ranger at the moment.
Did anybody else notice the like copy paste rip off of Star Wars? One of the arcs in that show.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like the main character's dad gets seduced by the dark side, and then they have a duel, and then he gets back to the dark light side and gets electrocuted trying to save his son and dies after redeeming himself. I'm like, this is fucking Star Wars.
Let me think. When it comes to theme songs that I remember the most from the Sentai, I think I like Shinkinger's quite a bit.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And what is this show called? Zoojer. I like theirs. The more recent animal-based one that I always probably screw up the name for.
I started that one and then I stopped. Was it good?
I think I only watched the first episode because
that's one I needed to finish because I don't know. I just randomly dropped it for some reason. It wasn't because I hated it. It's just I just randomly dropped it and then just started Q Ranger when it started.
Yeah. I think that the only part I watched the first episode and then I watched the crossover movie that they had with Gokaiger. And that's about the gist of it that I've seen of the show. I did like the crossover because I thought it was funny and highly entertaining. Because I just like seeing the Gokaigers.
Yeah.
And seeing Captain Marvelous be a marvelous asshole.
That's an amazing protagonist game.
I think the funniest thing was just watching. Who is it? I don't know his name, but he's the 6th Ranger for the Zoojer team. And he gets depressed because
World?
Huh?
Zua the World. The Sentai JoJo reference.
I was trying to remember. He was the one who had 3 animal forms combined into one.
Yeah, that's it.
And he got upset because Marvelous could change into more than just 3. And then he just gets really sad and depressed. He's like, no, he has more forms than me. I'm so depressed. I thought that was kind of funny. And then he's
I want to go back and watch that show. Because I didn't dislike it. I have no idea why I dropped it.
Yeah, that's same with me. I had no idea why I dropped it.
But
it wasn't bad. It's just okay.
I think yeah, I think my favorite part was the part where he, all the other Rangers are fighting and he's still depressed because he doesn't have anybody to fight. That also made me laugh. And then Gokai Silver showed up. He's like, "Hey, you're not alone. You have me." And he's like, "Huh?" He's like, "No, I'm not here to fight you. Hold on, hang on."
Well, yeah, I think that if I remember that, that's just supposed to be a recurring thing with Zua the World, because when he's first introduced as evil, he's just very generic evil and strong guy, and then when he's freed and uses the powers on his own, they find out he gets really depressed easily.
It's a good running gag. I think it's quite funny.
It's just a huge contrast to how he's first introduced.
You have nothing to worry about when you're being mind controlled.
Yeah.
Jetman's theme song is pretty good, actually.
It's a catchy one. Yeah.
Yep. Kaku Rangers is also pretty good. And Die Rangers.
Okay, but Kamen Rider, what would you say the best opening for Kamen Rider is?
Oz, definitely.
Oz, yeah. I would say Oz, yeah.
I can listen to the Oz opening theme song any day of the week, anytime. And
when it comes,
I'd say Build. I really liked Build's one as well.
Build's is pretty good.
I enjoy to be a good theme is okay. Can I enjoy this in complete ignorance of the show? Can I enjoy this theme completely separate from the show? And I could absolutely do that with Oz's theme.
Yeah, there's a lot. I like a lot of them, so it's really hard for me to pick just one. Because I think the ones I really like, I like Kuga's and Agito's.
What do you think of Count Zero?
Yeah,
Agito has some of the best battle themes with "Believe
Yeah,
Yourself" and "Deep Breath."
yeah. It's a toss up between Ryuki and Black RX. Ryuki's theme isn't too bad. I like it, but I don't think it's as good as the other two I just mentioned. I like
Gaim is a good
Gaim.
theme.
Yeah, Gaim's theme song is really
Yeah.
good. I like Amazon's theme song.
Like the
Stark.
Amazon Prime show or the
Yeah.
Showa era show.
No, not the Showa. I was talking about Amazon's.
Yeah, it's good, but I'm really disappointed that it only plays during the ending credits.
Hmm.
Yeah. Although I like I think I like the second season's one much better.
Don't say anything. I haven't seen it yet.
Hmm.
No, the second season's the opening song they use, well, at the end, is I think it's much better than the first one.
Really, because the first one is pretty good.
Yeah, I did like the first one, but I think I much more enjoyed the second one.
I also kind of like Kabuto's theme too.
Kabuto, I think the first battle theme, Full Force is better than the opening theme, in my opinion.
Yeah, it could be. I haven't watched the show. I've only seen the opening. I like
Listening Extreme.
Oz's. Double's opening theme. I like that one a lot.
Double BX, Double Void Extreme, definitely
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
top 10.
Yes. I kind of like Wizard's theme song.
Yeah, it's okay. Drive's theme song I really enjoy.
Yeah, Drives is good too. Surprisingly, I don't hate X8's theme. Surprisingly enough,
I've literally never seen anything from X8.
I don't hate the theme song. It's not my favorite, but it's catchy enough to say, oh, I could see why people would at least enjoy the song.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but I could see why it would be a good song. Potentially.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about Zio's one. Like, so because surprisingly they showed the opening in the first episode instead of just waiting for like the second episode to show it. While it's not bad, it feels like the best comparison I can give it is like it's like My Hero Academia's second season opening. So you had the first season's opening, which was great. Then you had the second one, which really didn't have the same feel to it. While it wasn't bad, it wasn't as like hugely awesome and like get you pumped up as like the first season.
I loved Peace Sign.
Okay, I'm gonna check comments here real quick. I like Ryuki's opening because it had the PS1 game and I played the heck out of it from Smackdown. Yeah. And Lord Nurgle is here. Hi. Welcome, Dark Lord of Chaos. How are you doing tonight? And Smackdown responding, "Be gone, Warp Spawn."
What games have you guys played?
For what?
What Kamen Rider games have you guys played?
None.
Oh, I haven't got any. I know the one with Build does have English subs, so I might buy it.
Climax,
I'm hoping the next one does as well, because apparently it's coming out for the Switch as well.
I played
shitty hustle.
I played it was 3 of the Climax Hero games, the ones that came out for PSP. It featured Oz, Forze, and Wizard, and all the previous writers before them. And there was also these DS games that were side scrollers. I'm gonna look them up right now because I forget the name, but they were fun as hell.
Yeah, and, I want to play the Bat Ride War Genesis game. That's one that's like on my wish list of
all those Bat Ride Wars. I've got a PS4, so hopefully I can be able to play at least some of them.
I'd play it on PS4 or PS3. I'm just looking for an affordable deal.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like if you can find it good and cheap and not region locked.
Well, PS3 and PS4 are not region locked.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, I might get those.
They can
Because
play
that's I want to
any
get the
game from any region.
yeah, because that's I want to get the Sengoku Basara games as well.
Yeah, it was called All Common Rider Generation, and it was a really good game. You could play as the Heisei Rider and the Showa Riders, and then the sequel you could play as the secondary riders too.
Oh,
It was a
nice.
really great side scroller.
Anyone ever heard of Super Tokusatsu War 2001? Can't say I have.
No.
I
I'm
can't
gonna look
say
that
I
up.
know that one. The only like kind of Power Ranger or Super Sentai game I remember playing is probably the old Super Nintendo ones or the Sega Genesis version. And I think I was at a friend's house and I played it a bit.
Let's
That's about
see.
it.
Okay, it's a strategy game that was a crossover between Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Metal Hero, Kakaida, Ultraman, S Robot, Unazman, and Bio. Bun Presto original.
I want this. Yeah, wait, if it's a
It-
strategy game and it's in Japanese, I'll be screwed because I won't be able to read anything and know what I'm doing.
Well, while I was looking it up, there was something about an English patch, so I'm guessing somebody subbed it.
So what system was this one for? Okay, 2001. Yeah. So I hope that everybody is enjoying this stream so far. We're just kind of just shooting the breeze at this point. We already covered the topic we wanted to cover.
Yeah.
But you guys are, of course, always welcome to give your thoughts on the 25th anniversary of Power Rangers as well in the comment section after the stream is over, or if you want to talk about it right now, please feel free. You forgot Giant Robo, aka Johnny Soko, and his flying robot. PS1. I don't know anything about that. That is totally new to me. No idea what that is. But if there are English patches for some of these games, I'd be willing to probably play them more.
What do you guys think of their attempts to make it so that all the writers were in the same universe?
What?
Like, I know in various series they tried to tie it in so that the shows were all connected to one another, like they did with Double O's and Forza.
Yeah, they've. You mean between Heisei and Showa?
No, I mean just like shows one after another being interconnected. Like they established Foundation X in
They
Double.
don't do that very much.
Yeah, I mean, I know they don't do it very much. But what do you guys think about the times that they do try to do it?
I mean, it makes crossovers easier.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it, but I think the main problem is it's just like everyone's just unless they explain why, everyone's just oblivious to just like, hey, we live in a world where monsters constantly attack everyone, and armored heroes save us. Like, because at least with Build, it was in a different universe, so they explained why the continuity was different there.
Yeah.
With
fair,
Decade, it was just alternate realities.
Yeah.
To be fair, like I think in that sense, it's kind of like the superheroes in American comics, where yeah, there are like monsters and bad guys, and then there are like just these guys in costumes that come around and like save people. I think it would essentially be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Smaxo in the
like
comments. Thanks. You made feel being older than I really am. I am only 26. Did I make you feel old?
Wait,
Smaxo.
He's 26?
Yeah.
So we're the same age.
Cool. Well, I'm the oldest one in this stream, I think, so.
Chris, how old are you?
I'm 22. I'm the youngest, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you are the youngest. I am the oldest. Since I'm over 30. I'm 34.
You definitely don't sound over 30.
Believe you me, I get that comment all the time. It's what everybody else is like, wait, you're that old? It's like, yes, I am that old. I am an old man in comparison to a lot of other people. It surprises people, I guess, but it's like, yep, it's my voice. It sounds a lot younger than it actually is. Yes, you made me feel old since I kept knowing all this old stuff and everyone kept saying, who? Well, with you, Smaxo, you lived in a completely other country, so you got to experience a lot of different things that I didn't get to experience. So, you know, you have that distinct advantage when you point out shows or something like, what'd you say, Cybercop? I have no idea what that is. Never heard of it before because the States probably never got anything related to it. And probably very few people talk about it. If it's a Toku show, that's probably one of those, unheard of things or one that's not talked about regularly.
All right, guys, I have to go. I have.
Yeah, well, we were gonna probably close out the stream now anyway because it's past 6 for me, and I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover, and we shot.
Yeah, we've complained about Tommy and Nils.
Yeah. And we got to have fun just talking about other random stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hopefully we will have a chance to maybe talk about Zio. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, well, subs are out for Zio already, so just head on over to Overtime.
Yeah. I remember when it was still called Double Time.
Oh, yeah, it did go by a different name, yeah.
But anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. We'll be back for another one hopefully soon. So
see you, everyone.
Yeah, we'll see you all later. Bye-bye.